This CU podcast segment is sponsored by NordVPN. It's what I use to keep myself safe online, and you can too. If you care about the security and safety of your online presence, take control of your internet experience today with NordVPN. I've been traveling more lately, Ian, so I've been using NordVPN when going to airports, restaurants on the go, and accessing hotel Wi-Fi. I feel really secure when I do that.
With NordVPN, all of your internet data stays safe behind a wall of next-generation encryption. Your data will never be compromised with NordVPN. They have a strict no-log policy. They don't track, collect, or share your private data. It's none of their business. And you can mask your IP, keep your browsing to yourself. Don't let others track what you do online. And you can make sure that your internet traffic is fully protected. You can take the DNS leak test. And with NordVPN, servers are everywhere. You can choose from 5,400 plus servers in 59 countries. Enjoy the internet with no limits or borders. You can share large files with no hassle thanks to hundreds of secure P2P servers, and there's worldwide access. Enjoy instant, secure access to hundreds of streaming websites worldwide. The connection is ultra fast. You don't need to sacrifice speed for better security. NordVPN gives you both. Just one account lets you connect up to 6 devices, and you can secure them all in any combination. And use with ease. It's just a click. Using NordVPN is as simple and intuitive as making your morning coffee.
Take control of your internet experience today with NordVPN. Right now, you can get a 2-year plan at a huge discount, plus 4 additional months for free when you go to nordvpn.com/CU podcast. It's risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. Again, that's nordvpn.com/CU podcast, or click the link in the description below to take control of your internet experience today.
So speaking of
old IPs of video games,
Atari's new CEO is looking to recharge the brand. This came from gamesindustry.biz, and it was an article put on the 29th of September, basically about how Atari is looking to again and again and again shake themselves up and kind of change the optics on them. So we've talked a lot about Atari in the past, the VCS. We've talked about their casinos, their
crypto,
their attempt to get into hotels, speaker hats, all sorts of weird shit.
And almost none of those actually happened except for the VCS. They canceled the idea for the hotel casino thing.
Nope.
The crypto thing, I'm not sure ever took off. The speaker hats, I don't think got produced.
They did. I've seen people wearing them.
Oh, they did?
Yes.
Oh, the watch never got made. That's what they.
I don't think the watch ever got made. And if you read this article, you'll see that the hotels are still happening and the cryptocurrency is still happening.
Oh my God, really?
So Wade Rosen is the current Atari CEO. And
no more Fred Chenet?
What?
Oh no,
Fred is head of the crypto.
That's right. Yes, he's head of the shit. That is an awful idea. That's right.
Freddie Ches is in charge of the crypto.
Fred is handling the side of the business. This is a shit no one asked for or needs. Okay,
right.
Division.
So they talk about how they're pivoting away from various things. They want. I hate that term. It always makes me think of the pivot to video. That was all bullshit, and now I can never read a fucking news article ever again without some sort of ad or some sort of video auto playing.
I'm sorry, Ian. Gotta get a subscription to one of those
fucking
old-timey magazines.
Worst. How they want to pivot away from free-to-play games and mobile games. They talk about how, which honestly I feel like was kind of the perfect home for like a rebirthed Atari. Let's put out these games that are just going to sap your money.
By the way, this is an article from gamesindustry.biz.
Yeah, gamesindustry.biz.
Okay.
And they talk about how the distance in mobile gaming is changing, how the big ones do really, really well and make tons of money, and you're left with small ones that make like nothing. The whales focus on the big games
1%.
And there's far less opportunity to have one of those games that's even going to attract a whale.
Sure.
So they've kind of moved away from that. They're also talking about how they actually want to focus on video games again, which is good.
What?
Because they never really did in the past few years with Fred Chesney. They never really focused on games. It was the VCS.
It was just licensing shit
without ever talking about what the VCS was actually going to play.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they realized that they had nothing for it, they pivoted to the sandbox mode. But yeah, it was just branded products. So They're starting. They already released Centipede Recharged, which.
Well, first they had the Missile Command one came out last year.
Oh, Missile Command was that recharged as well?
That was the first one. That came out last year, and that has a cute sort of like neon sort of like color scheme and line art to it.
Yeah.
It looks very nice. It looks, I hate to say it, it looks better than the Amico Missile Command.
I don't think it got good reviews either.
But it looks better. Because it kind of looks like old style, like almost vector art, which is closer to the original pixels, but it looks clean. At least the layout looks clean. It's not a jumbled mess.
So they just released Centipede Recharged. They've got Black Widow Recharged coming out soon. And later this year, they say Asteroids Recharged and Breakout Recharged. I'm particularly interested in the Breakout Recharged because we have not seen anything on the Choice Provisions Breakout that was in production for the Amico in quite some time. And I think that was one of the better looking games. I'd love it if that was revealed to be this. Now, Pat pointed out that the Missile Command Recharged is not the same as the Missile Command on the Intellivision, so it could just be a different licensed version. But I would really love it if it was the Choice Provisions version, because I thought it looked fun.
Did you check out the Centipede Recharged trailer?
Yeah, I looked at the trailer. I'm hesitant. Doesn't look awful. It looks more like a puzzle type game. Like, here's the layout, figure out how to get through it, and that could be fun.
How to shoot and get around it.
That could be fun, but I'm not 100% sold on it. I like Megan McDuffie does the soundtrack, and I do like her music. So I mean, there are good things going for it, but I'm just not sold on the gameplay yet necessarily.
What I like,
I'll buy it on sale.
The graphics is consistent with the Missile Command. It looks like it's the same universe. It's like the same.
We've got some theming.
Yes. We're going to use the same sort of like line art that's simplified, you know, like an indie style sort of like game, but the colors kind of are vibrant. And this is how you launch a library of games. You have a consistent style to them. They look like they belong together.
Right.
They're not just a jumbled mess of reused assets. This is how you do it. Yes, it's super simple, but for Centipede, this is fine. Like, I'm interested in checking this out. You're the Centipede guy. I'm more the Asteroids guy. That's going to be interesting because that already is like line art, you know, because that was vector graphics. I'm kind of interested to see how that translates over.
Yeah,
I kind of am.
So, I don't know. We'll see. I don't have a lot of faith in the games, but if they're good, wonderful. At the very least, like you said, there is some understanding here of making everything look like it belongs together.
Yes.
A line of games being produced by a company.
And they're coming out on Steam and Switch and probably everywhere else when it comes to this.
So, furthermore, things that I find interesting about this article, Wade Rosen goes on to talk about how they're not doing, they're trying to, move away from things that dilute the brand. So, I mean, it's a good thing to say.
Asteroids didn't dilute the brand. I loved that.
That was wonderful.
That was a celebration.
A celebration of breakfast potatoes and video gaming.
You want to talk about? Okay,
hold on.
Okay.
So he says they don't want to dilute the brand anymore. So that's why something like the casinos are going away. And he realizes that casinos can have a negative, can appear negative to people. So he's getting rid of the casinos. He does want to keep doing the hotels because after seeing, he said, and this I think is putting yourself into comparison with someone that you cannot be compared to. I can't talk today. He was like, we decided to keep the hotels because we saw Nintendo do the theme park with Universal Studios, and we thought maybe we could offer a place for Atari fans to come and enjoy some Atari stuff. And like that's not the same.
The same thing.
Apples and oranges, man.
Slot machines and blackjack is not the same as.
We're not talking about the casinos. We're talking about the hotels. He already said that there is not going to be any more casinos.
All right, good.
You're not listening to me.
I'm not. I want to read this quote. Can I read this quote?
Yes.
Okay. The need for, this is him, Rosen saying this, the need for, because the market really wasn't clear what we were doing. This is a shift away from going back to games. Atari had become synonymous with doing a lot of things, but not really providing a lot of clarity on why they were doing those things, what was their motivation, or where those reasons were coming from. So the intent of focusing back on games is because that's why people know us. Yes. Rather than trying to reinvent ourselves into a TV company, a casino operator, or all these other things that we're not, we're known as a video game company. So he acknowledges that before we were just licensing it out willy-nilly, we didn't care. But
Right.
we can't do that because then then people won't care about what we do anymore in terms of games, which is what they are.
The writer also brings up, he doesn't broach the subject at first, so we ask about the possible harm done to the nostalgia-driven Atari brand by associating it with unsavory businesses like real money gambling and blockchain. So he replies, the casinos they got rid of. But as he's going through and he's talking about the blockchain, he even says, like, after saying that that's one thing that they're keeping, he even says,
Shut the window.
I'm tempted to just kind of back out of that entirely because I know how a lot of people feel. So that's where it starts to get weird. He doesn't sound particularly, like, he says the right things.
Sure.
That they need to not dilute themselves, but doesn't sound confident in the things that he's keeping around.
Because they've already made money off NFTs, right? They've already done that. So they probably
Right.
figure we can do that. We can do crypto and we can get some suckers. They already have the crypto. I think the Atari coin exists. It's on, you can buy it.
But right here, he's talking about how, you know, he's tempted to just kind of back out of it entirely. So I don't know.
How do you back out of crypto? Do you can you shut the coin down?
Just stop, I guess, maybe.
But people have share. How do you do that?
I don't know. It's a good question.
We're not doing this anymore. Internal TV production, casino operators were two of the businesses. Yeah, the TV thing is weird. I'd love to see how this Frogger game show is doing because that probably came out.
Frogger's not Atari.
I know.
Okay.
But like, it's the same generation of these Atari products.
Oh, sure.
So like, if they see that Frogger game show doesn't do well, they'd be less likely to do, I don't know, the Pong game show, or you know what I mean, or the Warlords show, you know what I mean? Like, there'd be less incentive to do that because I don't think that Frogger show is going to set the world on fire.
No.
Is that on Peacock? I think it's not the worst name ever for a streaming.
I don't think it's that bad.
Peacock.
The name, yeah. It's Bird, man.
It just sounds silly.
So that's pretty much all I have to say about it. They have the right idea. They don't sound confident in what they're doing. And this is what happens with these rebought trademarks and brands. They just get constantly passed around.
Okay, I'm gonna say this quote here because okay, they're not doing casinos. Okay, we got that now. I got that. But the hotel thing, it's not just a regular hotel with the Atari logo slapped on it. That would create a lot of brand dilution.
Yeah, this is what I was bringing up.
But what they're hoping to build and construct and bring into the world is pretty unique and special and will fit in really well with what Atari is trying to do. I would love to see the plans for that. I would love to see how you make an Atari-themed hotel and have it make sense.
Yeah, how do you talk about getting rid of things that dilute the brand but don't get rid of a hotel?
I mean,
an Atari-branded hotel.
The only way you can do it with even Nintendo stuff is you have all these characters that people know and love, so you can like brand it. Oh, it's the Luigi meeting room. It's the Yoshi Sunday buffet. Like maybe you have like pillows and bed sheets with Nintendo characters. You don't have those characters with these Atari IPs. There's no characters.
Right. You're not going to be selling plushes of the eyes from Haunted House.
You got the Yar's Revenge bug thing. You got the Centipede bug / elf guy that we're not sure who he is or what it is. Like that's not the missile command missile launchers, ICBM deterrent launchers is not something you can put in a hotel. Can you? It's silly.
Yeah.
It's silly. Anything else to add, Ian? I mean, it's really weird. But I'm glad they're doing the recharge line because that's the only thing you can do with these products at this point is just do a new version.
Yeah.
I want Ian to like Centipede. I want to like Asteroids.